Yeah.
Just because this... What?
It's just cool, man.
Whatever.
3, 2, 1, bro.
Hey everybody, we're the Brothers Murph.
Best out of con.
This is the best out of the con and some of the not best stuff, but no, indeed.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
Hey,
Nick.
I'm Mike.
Hi.
We're the Brothers Murph, and we went to Dice Tower Con, baby! Woo! It was so fun. We just want to take a few minutes to talk about the convention experience.
We like to reflect on each con that we go to and such,
to
you know?
think, like, what did we like? What didn't we love? How could it have been better?
Well, here's
How
the thing.
amazing was that one time when all week I won exactly one game, one time?
You won 2 games.
One was before the con opened, just saying.
We were at the con and he won it, but
That doesn't count. And it was in
Mike did
German.
not.
Wasn't even in English.
Mike did not win much.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're talking about Dice Tower Con. We did a Meeple Con review, and this is kind of something we enjoy doing, and so we're going to do it right now. And this is our first time going to Dice Tower Con. This is probably the con I've wanted to go to the most, even more than the big ones, just because this is, again, everything started on the Dice Tower. So getting to go to Dice Tower Con, last year we tried to almost kind of go, like last minute, and we just didn't have the money to just run a flight out there real
We thought
quick.
about getting really irresponsible for 1 second and didn't. But this was so. Yeah, I agree. Like this has been the highlight so far
Kind of
because it's-
culmination.
Yeah, culmination, and it was like coming home. You know, felt like you're on your home turf.
I'm going to home base. Yeah, totally.
And so yeah, we looked forward to it for a long time, and you know we got the idea that for sure we were going to go, and received some huge help, which actually got us there. So thank you to our sponsor of the trip, who got us out there. You know who you are. Thank you. Seriously, we couldn't have done without you. Without the help of the folks and people that check our stuff out. So it was just like this was a year and change in the making. You know, starting stuff on the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is the beginning of it all, and to finally go was super cool.
Yeah, it was great. So, why don't we get into a couple of the pros of the con?
See what we did there?
So I think the main, this is what everyone always says about Dice Tower Con. It's like, why is Dice Tower Con so great? And everyone says it's because of the people.
Yeah.
And they're right. It's
Yeah.
because of the people. I mean, the people are just, I think the best part of the con ultimately was getting to hang out with Dan Hughes, Dave Lewis, and Matthew Jude because of the fact that, like, we're on a podcast with these gentlemen. We've known them for a long time.
There's some of I'm agreeing with
Oh,
you.
yeah, you started laughing.
it's
They've been our friends for a long time now, and it was nice to finally get to meet them in real life, and become real life friends.
Yeah, it was this weird thing of like you get to know these people, but you don't have never shared space with them, shared the same air, broken bread with them. That was like one of the cool things about Dice Tower Con in general was we got to meet and hang out with a lot of people that we have seen and watched online for over a year now.
Yeah.
The Mike Delicios of the world, the Mike Parkinsons of the world, the Gary Popes of the world.
Yeah.
You know, like that was just so fun seeing all these familiar faces. And so like every time we like go to hang out with someone, you're kind of already off and running.
Yeah.
Because you just like sort of feel like you know everyone.
Because you do know them. You just don't. You have never met them. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like I don't like to say like, oh, we've never met. It's like, well, we never met in real life. But like,
Yeah.
it's like you know, one thing was very very cool is our sponsors, Restoration Games, are wonderful. But we've never actually met anyone from that team. You know, Justin Jacobson, the gentleman who started Restoration Games, we never met him. We've never gotten to meet Suzanne from Restoration Games, J.R. Honeycutt, who Mike says sounds like he's in like a cowboy western.
Well, that was it for J.R. Honeycutt.
It's such a good name. We never met any of these people.
Rob Davio, who makes all these games.
And we finally get to meet all these people. And that was one of the coolest parts, was like getting to hang out with like Mandy and Suzanne and just all these Dice Tower people, seeing, well, the thing is, the main three from the Dice Tower we've met before.
I know, they were old news. I barely even talked to them. I was like, I don't care.
We never met Eric Summer or Jason Levine or Rob Geisingler or all these cool people. And it's kind of just like, oh, hey, man, good. It's nice to meet you. You give them a hug or shake their hand. And then you're just instant. And then it's kind of like you've been hanging out for years.
Yeah, Dice Tower was very easy. It can take a lot of mental energy to meet people.
Yeah.
It's
Especially when you're
tiring.
famous.
Yeah, especially when you're hella famous. It's tiring, but
It is.
that's one area where it was actually kind of easy because a lot of people recognize us because they watch the Dice Tower. That's why they're at Dice Tower Con. They're
It makes
fans
sense.
of that channel, and we appear on that channel. And so there's like, it was easy because people say like, oh, I really like your stuff. Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for coming out. You're having a good con, and now you're off and running. So it was just easy. The energy and the vibe at the convention was very welcoming.
Yes.
I feel like everyone playing games, there was very little of that whole like, I'm playing
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't meet anyone who was kind of like, whatever. Like, there's no one. Everyone was super nice.
Yeah, just like the whole energy of that place, and it seems like there's an understanding of like, hey, be cool to everybody, and like that was super nice.
Yeah.
That was super nice. And on top of meeting people that are famous on the Dice Tower, we got to meet and hang out with some of Team Bing Bong right
People
there,
who are
baby.
famous to us.
Famous to us, man. Some of our
Big fan.
VIPs.
Yeah, so the OG Team Bing Bongers.
Yeah, man.
Where they had Cheryl and Slivers and Moogie Boogie and Coal Cakes were all there. It was great getting to meet
Spracknell was there. Melissa Sings was there.
That's why Melissa Sings with their Heartboard games. There are a lot of people who hang out with us on Twitch or follow us on our own YouTube channel and stuff like that were there.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Again, people who like, a lot of these people, especially if they hang out with us on Twitch, like we hang out with them 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
In the digital world.
Yeah. All the things that board gaming should be, the people at Dice Tower Con, whether or not we knew them or ever talked to them, like they all seem to subscribe to like, hey, make this a cool hobby for everyone, which is a really cool vibe. And that starts with Tom, Sam, and Z at the top, who are very, and Mandy, Suzanne, Eric, Rob, everyone, who are just very about inclusivity and stuff like that. It's super cool.
And the con was interesting in the fact that like it was pretty diverse. There was the ratio of men to women was pretty close. There was a lot. It was a lot of women there. It was great. It was a really young con. There was a lot of people like our age, a little older, because a lot of times you go to a con and it's like everyone's in their 50s and stuff like that, which is fine. Like it's no problem if you are that age. But this one, it was pretty even across the board.
Yeah.
And it was really cool for that reason.
Yeah, it was just awesome. Like there was just all types there, and like everyone's just playing games together, and like we all have a shared common interest, and that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
And then you're off and running, playing games with strangers, playing games with old friends, making new friends and stuff like that. Again, I can't say enough about the energy and the people that were at the convention. Whether or not we interacted with you at all, y'all were awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
Everything was pretty good. It was a pretty good con. I'll say that there was plenty of space.
Yeah.
They had this huge open gaming room, and then several like small side rooms. No one seemed to bother. Like if you popped into some room or whatever, no one seemed to care, which was nice. So you never were hurting too bad for space.
No, which was nice.
They had like a whole exhibitor hall that I thought was like nicely laid out.
Yeah, the exhibitor hall was bigger than I
thought.
thought it would be, which was nice.
Yeah. So overall, it's just a really well laid out convention, I think.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, but let's talk about just a couple little nitpicky things. These are small things that we wish we could see implemented in the future that will really, I think, help take the con to the next level. So we're going to talk about the pros and the cons now. So the Dice Tower cons were not many.
No, there's honestly it's nitpicky stuff.
Oh yeah,
mostly. It's really one main thing and that's it. Honestly.
Yeah, there's two. So one, because at some point I think you had said like, it's easy to find tables because it's on some sort of grid system or something. You're saying something about it, and it made me think like the open gaming room was big. It was very large. There was a lot of kind of rectangle tables, and then in the back half there's a bunch of big circle tables. So you kind of have like, depending on what you need. One thing that I would have loved, because it's hard to spot someone in there's like probably 1,200 people in that room.
Probably, when it's full,
regardless of numbers, a lot of people, and like
people.
spotting like Dan Hughes and all that. It's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of bald dudes in there.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing that made me think of like it'd be cool if at the end of like every just kind of big row going back, and it can be kind of general, have like A, B, C, D, E.
That's interesting.
Then as you go back, even if it's not like every single row, but you have 1, 2, 3, so you're like, oh, I'm near F4.
Huh.
Okay,
That's
I know
really
that's at least in that part of the thing. Kind of like you would in a parking structure.
At least having the rows ABC, that'd be killer.
Yeah,
that's
so
a
you
really
just
good
narrow
idea.
it down to one row, and you can
It's
head
like,
back
oh, I'm
and forth
in A near the back. It's like, all right, you just walk down
Totally.
A until
It's very minimal.
That's a really
signage,
good idea. That's a
and it would
really
make,
good idea.
Oh man, because if you can just narrow it down to here, then you can spot something.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. So I'm like, that'd be kind of cool, and it wouldn't take much work to set that up.
Yeah.
So that's something I just thought of because I thought you'd mentioned that it was that way, and then it was, and I was like, that would be useful.
that would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I never even thought of something like that. One of the other main cons, and again, it's just kind of like, it would be nice, and it'd be pretty easy to implement too, which would be nice. Well, This Game is Broken, one of the main highlights of the whole week is that we got to do a live show of our podcast.
That's awesome.
This Game is Broken, and it went amazingly. It went great.
So
we had a nice big audience, and so interactive and loud and laughing and having a great time, and it went so well.
Yeah.
And just the nature of the con is like when the show first started, we were like, there's not as many people here as we wanted, and then people kind of trickled in, and that's kind of how con stuff goes, because it's not like a shut door policy, like you got to be there at 6 or the door's shut. It's not like that.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things. But one thing we were and we actually went to try and find someone to see if they would do this for us.
But
Yeah. Is there was not really, as far as we know, any announcements of different events going on.
Yeah, because there's events throughout the whole day.
Throughout
every
the
day.
whole day. There's like designer panels and like exhibitor things and all this kind of stuff. And there wasn't really announcements for things. And I think it would be nice because a lot of times when you're playing a game, you just get lost. Because you're playing a game and then you get done and then someone's like, oh, you want to play this? You're like, oh, okay. And you go over there and you play this, you do that. But if there was an announcement being like, hey, the designer panel with Eric Lang and Ignacy Trzewiczek is starting in 10 minutes, you can go, oh, wait. No, I can't play a game because I wanted to go to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was pretty low attendance to a lot of the kind of live events. And I feel like if there was announcements for things, like on the half-hour mark, like, hey, in a half hour, da-da-da-da-da, and then like in 5 minutes, it's happening, it's something like that, because we wanted people to announce our live show, and we even went to like the headquarters area to see if someone would announce it for us, and there was no one there. And so we were trying to get. And then ultimately people trickled in and we filled a really big room about 3/4 of the way, which is no small feat. So we're very, very happy about that.
Yeah, it was ultimately one of the highest attended events of the convention, for sure, based on other stuff. But, I just think that there's a lot of people would go to stuff if they simply knew it was happening.
Yeah.
And our show was listed in a brochure.
But I don't read, personally,
I
I don't read those things,
Yeah,
honestly.
Not once the con's underway.
Yeah, not once the con starts.
Yeah.
And so I do wish that if there's an announcement, maybe in the beginning of the day, have an announcement of like all the events for the day so people know about them.
Sure.
And then, again, like on the hour, just be like, hey, this show is starting. Make your way to the big open, the big stage, the Caribbean room or something like that, whatever it was called, the giant room where all the stage was. Because again, like their live streaming setup was amazing. Their stage, everything in there was, amazing. If you haven't watched any of the live stuff from the Dice Tower Con, go watch it. It's beautiful. It's shot so well. And unfortunately, a lot of times there just wasn't very many people in there. And I feel like there would be more if they announced it. And so that's something I think would be pretty easy that they could change.
Yeah, they went through the work of like setting everything up on the tech side and getting ideas for what panels and things they wanted to do and getting the people there. All you gotta, that's the hard part in theory. The next part is to like just let people know what's going on and try to say like, hey, come down. Even if it were me and I was running it, because they had raffles going on, I'd be like, everyone that goes to the panel and stays at the end will get a raffle ticket.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for like some podcast that's like not even fully associated with the Dice Tower, like, but if they have their own stuff with their own people, I'm like, get people to turn up however you can,
Yeah, totally.
But again, it's a nitpicky thing. It's just like, hey, you have like really good content, and people should see it, But if they don't know what's happening, you gotta hope that they're walking by. And luckily, we had Missy at the door, who was literally
Missy was literally just be like, get in here. They didn't even know who we were.
Not gonna want to miss this.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, she really did a lot of work to fill seats, and people continually showed up. Halfway through the show, people
by the end of it,
sat and stayed.
All of us mentioned after we walked, about the end of it, we looked up, we were like, wow, this room's a lot more full than it was. I mean, once after the show started, at least 50 more people ended up walking in, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a little thing that would probably be pretty easy, but I think at least in terms of the live shows would help a lot.
Yeah.
And we're selfishly, we're like, yeah, you know, it'd help us a lot too.
Yeah. Which is sweet.
Yeah, because the live show went wonderfully.
So fun, man.
But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and the other thing that I don't know if we have any control over, but Florida's far. If I had to nitpick and be like, oh man, one con is that I wish it was here.
Yeah, we constantly
Closer.
complain about there not being a big con west of Texas because there's not.
Yeah.
You know, we have our own local con. MeepleCon is a great little con, but it's 600 people. It's not very big. You know, and I was excited last year when they announced PAX Unplugged because PAX is in Seattle. And I was like, oh, it's probably West Coast. And no, it's in Philadelphia. So I'm like, cool. And so, but that's not really much. There's not anything anyone can really do about that. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, it's far. It's just, it's tough when you live that far away from, and keep in mind, like Dan and Dave and Matt, they all came across the pond, but it's just like,
really can't complain.
It adds $1,000 to your trip.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It just does, you know, and it's just, it's tough. But that's really the only cons is like the grid system you mentioned should be in every con that has a big open game. That's a great idea.
I think it made people's lives way easier.
Yeah, and then just announcing stuff a little more, being a little better about that, I think would be really great.
That's really it.
That's pretty much it. Honestly, like that's us reaching for stuff. There was very little complaint about. It was amazing.
It's a well-oiled machine, man. Like everything was, there was signage and stuff. Like it was pretty easy to figure out where you needed to be and when if you did want to see a show. Yeah. There's an ease of access that was great. The people were great.
Yeah, and the convention center, it's like our local con, Strategic Con, is a confusing building.
Yes.
This one is not.
No.
It's just a
like
really
big rooms
easy
right in the doors.
convention center.
Library is halfway down, just beyond the library is the big open gaming room.
Yeah.
The exhibitors in between those. Like it's just you're in this hall and there's just room. It's very, very easy. Very nice. No winding hallways, the stairs to deal with. Very easy. Yeah, so good on them for choosing that spot. And it was a nice place too.
Yeah.
The resort.
So one of the best things about a con is you get to play a whole bunch of games.
We did play a couple.
Particularly a lot of games you haven't had a chance to play.
Yes.
And so let's get into a couple of games that we got to play.
Let's talk about it.
So we got to play collectively between the two of us. Most of these we played, both of us played them. I think there's like one or two that you played that I didn't, and then I played that you didn't. Yeah. You got to play like 16 new games.
Brand new
to us. Yeah. You know, and that's cool. That's a lot. I mean, keep on, we were there for a week, but like, that's a lot of new games. Not to mention, we played a lot of games that we have played before.
Right, yeah, that's not the only thing we played or new.
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably the majority, but I mean, on each day, we played 2, 3, 4 new games.
Yeah.
You know, with all different groups of people and stuff. And the conventions are so useful because you can play games for the first time with someone who's played several times. And that did lead to me losing almost all week long. But I didn't have to slog through rule books. I had people teach me games and teach it in a way that's very easy for me to understand. So you're able to jump right into stuff. Man.
Well, that's one thing about this kind of con, which is great. It's like, if there's a game you've wanted to play, someone there knows it, and someone there will teach you. It's just what it is. Game. Especially because it's such a friendly environment.
Yeah.
But we'll just go through the games we played real quick, just name them off, and then maybe we'll pick a few to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
So we played Ganz von Clever, which is
a little roll and write dice game.
That was the first game we played.
Yep.
We played, it's Quacksalber.
It's Quacksalber von Quedlinburg, I think it is.
We call it Quacken von Quackenstein.
Yeah. And it's a press your luck game that is not yet available in English or in America, but luckily Dave Luza is from Germany.
Super German.
Lives in Germany and has access to it, so he brought it over and taught us. That was super fun.
And I got to play Dragon Castle. Mikey didn't.
It's kind of like a mahjong.
Kind of, one of those pretty abstract games, which was great. I also got to play Unspeakable Words with Cheryl, which was wonderful. Mm-hmm. We played Millennium Blades.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back to that. Millennium Blades, it kind of recreates the experience of
a CCG,
of a CCG, like living in the world of Magic the Gathering.
Exactly. I got to play Black Orchestra. Then we played Teeth Taschen.
Yes.
We played Ethnos.
Yes.
Imhotep, Fantasy Realms, Keyflower, Metro X, Seven Wonders, Skull King, La Isla, and Tyrants of the Underdark. Those were all the new games that we got to play, which is very cool.
Let's see, did anything miss for you? I'm just curious. Like, did anything you're just like, not necessarily you hated it, but you're like, I could deal with that?
Honestly, no, not really.
Everything for me was like, I was like,
everything was pretty solid. There's some I liked more than others. I honestly didn't play a game I disliked the entire con.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, I'd agree. Like, everything was at least interesting and intriguing. Everything I played, I'd probably play again.
Yeah, I'd play again. Everything.
You know, whether or not I need to own every single one, I don't know. But, like, everything was pretty darn enjoyable. And I think that just means we have friends with good taste.
Yeah. So what's a couple that stood out for you?
A couple that stood out for me...
then we'll get into, like, the best.
Yeah, let's see. It was fun to finally play Seven Wonders.
Yes.
We played Seven Wonders Duel so much, and Seven Wonders is cool because it's very similar in terms of the iconography and the different things you can go for, but it's also incorporates drafting.
Yeah.
So I quite like that.
That was a good one. We played 7 people, too. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I really liked Ethnos. Ethnos is a set collection game mixed with area control.
Yes.
That was kind of fun. Tyrants of the Underdark we played right at the end of the convention, and it's a deck building game with area control set in the
Forgotten Realms.
The Forgotten Realms universe. And like that game, I actually really liked that a lot.
I liked it too.
I really liked the combo of the deck building to use that to then put stuff on the board, which gives you area control.
I've been wanting to play that one for a while because I was kind of on the fence about. I was like, I don't know what this game really is, and it was fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Metro X. We played a few roll and write games. I played Let's Make a Bus Route.
Oh, I gotta put that in here.
Which is another roll and write game. There's two where it's a roll and write game based around public transit, both from Japan.
That is true. There's 2 of them now.
One is you're getting these action cards that they play for the table. And depending on the color, it's going to make you do a different type of action. You're just drawing a little bus route, and you're hoping to pick up people, go to like tourist destinations, drop people off at college, and it's just you're crossing off steps or rolling right, just crossing off stuff and getting points, kind of like Ganz
Clever.
There you go. And so they had Let's Make a Bus Route, then Metro X, which is kind of recreating like a subway system in Kyoto and Tokyo, or Osaka maybe, and. I really liked those because I've just been interested in this whole like explosion of roll and write games now.
Credit Suzanne for that. She's running with that right there.
Loved it. But the Ganshon's clever and stuff are just really fun and kind of like you're trying to put together this puzzle. And Metro X for me really stood out because it's just it's very simple in that you're trying to go from like the start of your little train route to the end, but you know you can't. Like you get stuck in places because all the lines are crossing each other and you can't skip unless you have a card that lets you skip, and so it becomes this whole thing of like how am I going to complete this route and everything. And Metro X was just super interesting, and you can play like literally 100 people,
however many sheets you have of the game, you can play that
because the action cards come out and everyone participates in it. So I was like, that was kind of cool. Like,
that was very
there's
cool.
No player count. Like you can literally play it by yourself. And up to as many people as can hear you shout out what action just came out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was like, that's kind of neat.
That was very, very cool. Ethnos stood out for me. One, because we hung out with this couple, Courtney and Kent, a fair amount, and we got to play that with them. That was interesting because again, it's a game I wanted to play for a while, and it kind of wasn't what I was expecting. But I did like Ethnos a lot. And then we got to play Keyflower finally. We've been wanting to play Keyflower for a while, and we made Dan. Well, he wasn't fighting it, but we wanted Dan Hughes to teach us because he loves that game.
Yeah, it's one of his favorites. And Matthew Jude loves that game.
Yes, too. Exactly, and that was great. That was really, really wonderful. And it was tough. It was a tough game, but Mike did really good. Dan and Matthew did the best, but that's because this is one of those games where if you've played it once, if you're playing against people who haven't played it before, you're going to beat them. It's just how it is. But he actually got really close, and then I actually had a decent score too. I was still a decent amount behind everyone, but like everyone did pretty well at it, and it's a tough game, but it's really fun.
Yeah, it's this game that uses like bidding, and you're bidding meeples essentially, and trying to get these different tiles, and then you can activate tiles, and you can activate tiles that are you're building a village for yourself. You can activate your tiles in your village, or I can like use Nick's village, but then I give the meeple away. So like meeples are kind of your currency, your people, your workers. It's just really interesting, and that's a game where the familiarity with those tiles and knowing how they work together and which ones are more valuable, and there's a billion strategies you can go for. That definitely helps. But that was a game that I hooked into pretty quick. In terms of, it's actually halfway through. I had no idea what I was doing until I was just like, I know exactly what I'm doing. it was just really fun. Because
It was.
It's really open in terms of you can go for a lot of different things for points, but it's not so open that you have no idea where to start. Because you get at the beginning of the game, you get some tiles that are meant for the last round.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, you can say like, okay, I can maybe try to go for this thing over here and try to get a lot of meeples, which is what I did. And so maybe it gives you a direction to start.
Yeah.
It was just super interesting. That's a game that's right up there with my favorite games from the con.
Yeah.
Keyflower was really good.
Yeah. I got to play Black Orchestra with Justin Jacobson, the gentleman who runs Restoration Games.
Oh, yeah.
And that was very fun. It's a game where it's kind of like Valkyrie, that one movie. Oh, no, not Valkyrie.
Yeah.
The Tom Cruise one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Valkyrie, the Tom Cruise movie, where you're trying to kill Hitler, essentially, like that.
You're a spy.
You're a spy and stuff. And it's one of those games where you just kind of, it comes down to a crapshoot at the very end. It came down very much to it. We went to kill him. Didn't work out. We missed it by one die, but we had one reroll. So we took that one die and I rolled it and we hit it and we won. Last chance, all this kind of stuff. And that was
Exactly
one of those
what you want.
like, oh, that got up when you're like running around the gaming hall and just disrupted everyone within the whole place. It was great.
That's awesome.
Okay, so then let's go into what was your favorite game slash your favorite gaming experience.
Oh, man.
They can be two different things if you want.
Okay, the two different things. My favorite gaming experience, and I wonder if you'll agree, will be Millennium Blades. Because I've never done something like that before.
Yes.
I have no experience in like playing Magic the Gathering or, some similar type game where it's, there's tournaments and there's competitive collecting and blah, blah, blah. And like this game just is super meta and creates that world. So you play a tournament first and you have kind of like, starter hands and stuff, and it gives you an idea of like how a tournament works. And then it flips over and you go into these 3 timed rounds where you're as if you're in the game store.
Yeah.
And you're spending money to buy like packs of cards, or trying to hopefully get like the right card you need. I can trade with Nick. I'm like, I see you have this. Are you down to make a trade? And so you're like wheeling and dealing, and spending your cash, and then you.
And these town parts are like 20 minutes long total.
Yeah, right. So broken
like,
into sections, but it's like 20 minutes. Of running around, which we see at our local game store on our game nights. That there's these Magic tournaments, and it is all timed out and everything. And
building their decks and all that kind of stuff.
You're building your deck and trying to figure out like how these cards are going to work together, and you're buying and dumping cards and this and that and trying to sell stuff to get money to buy more cards, and it just like creates that whole world of like you're running around the game store, and then you have another tournament, then you have another round in the store, then you have your final tournament. And so it's just like this, it's so different. I'm like, I cannot equate this to anything I've ever done or played, because of the meta nature of it. And so that was just really cool. Like, whether or not I ever play Millennium Blades again, I'm glad I played it just to experience something that was that specific.
Totally. That was probably my favorite game of the con. That one and Keyflower are probably two tops. Also, Skull King, I really like. I played Skull King, which is a great little trick-taking game. Because it's fun and raucous.
It's a trick-taking game with a bunch of silliness on it.
For everything he said for Millennium Blades, I really liked it. Again, I don't think I'd ever get it unless I found it cheap somewhere.
That's a bear.
And it's just, I mean, we couldn't play a game for like an hour or two because our heads were thumping so hard. But it was unlike anything I ever played, and I really liked the game. I don't know how often I would ever play it, but I really, really liked it. Mm-hmm. I also really liked the Quacky Von Quackenstein game.
That and Keyflower are my favorite games of the convention.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quacksalber von Quedlinburg or Quacky Dacky Dacky Doo. It's a fun game where you're a quack. You're just like a crazy
You're not a duck,
wizard.
and it's not okay that you're not a duck.
You could totally make it a duck if you want to redo the art, but you're just like a crazy person who's like making a big potion in a cauldron, essentially. And the different ingredients you have, which might be like pumpkins and like moths and just crazy stuff, they do different things for you. They're going to give you, some give you end of the round scoring, some things give you little bonuses within the round itself. And there's these like exploding peas, these white tiles essentially, or tokens. And if you get a value of 8 of those white peas, your cauldron explodes.
Yeah.
And you're
out for that round.
Yeah, you don't. It's not really the end of the world.
That's not true necessarily, but yeah.
But you limit the benefits that you gain by trying to push your luck.
Yeah.
And it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun because you're kind of bag building a little bit, and you're drawing out your stuff and hoping that the right things come at the right time, and you just get to the point where you have like 6 of those peas out there, and you're like, okay, most of the P's I have are a value of 1, but like there's the 3 in there, and if I draw that, I immediately blow up.
Yeah.
I move forward on my track. We're trying to get further down the track, and so it's just fun.
It was fun. It's a game that's when it comes out in English, I definitely want to get it. I was skeptical when I first saw it, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
A real blast.
Yeah, and there's all these cards, which each round you just draw a card, and it kind of gives like a little condition for the round, and it's always something good. It's something like, hey, you can go to 9 this time on your piece before you explode. So you're like, I'm going to push my luck. I'm going to go for it right here.
Yeah.
This time this happens. And it just adds like a little level, and you play, I think, 9 rounds are very quick. The game was awesome, man.
Yeah,
it was just
really
fun
was.
and light, and you're excited because you're pressing your luck.
Yeah.
But, like,
That's really
I don't
all it
know,
is. It's
I played
great.
like 3 times. I loved it.
Yeah, I really liked it too. So, do you have a favorite like overall experience? My favorite experience of the con is kind of a collective stuff, and this is something that happens at cons, particularly a con like this where it's a destination for you. Like we traveled there,
Sure,
and stuff like that, and that's like late night gaming.
Oh yeah.
Like my probably collective 3 favorite experiences was Tuesday, the first Tuesday we were there, because we had gone to the con like later at night, and that's when we played Quacky Von Quackenstein.
Yeah.
I got to play Dragon Castle with Roy Kennedy, which was lovely.
Yeah.
But it's like 11 o'clock, it's midnight, and you're just kind of tired, but you're still gaming and having a good time. The first night we were there at all on Monday was when we played Gone Schon Clever at the place we were staying with like Dave and Dan. Matthew wasn't there yet. But again, it was like midnight. We were just playing this game.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite ones is we went out to dinner, went to IHOP and had one of the worst serving experiences of our life. Just the worst waitress ever. It was great.
Bananas.
We played Skull King there and stuff, but then me and Matthew went back to the con afterwards. It was like 11:30 when we got back to the con, and we were trying to find something to play, and we were rolling around, and Matthew hated Seasons.
Yeah.
Hated the game Seasons, which is a game that we like a lot. And he'd been wanting to try it again because he thinks he just had a bad experience with it. It wasn't actually the game.
He said, like, the people I was playing with, maybe weren't the best. And I was playing early in my board gaming career, so maybe I just didn't get it.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? We were trying to find a game club. I was like, you know what? Let's play Seasons. I want you to give this another shot because I think you'll like it. And at that point, Justin Jacobson, the guy who runs Reservation Games, who sponsors us, found us and was like, hey, what are you guys going to play? We're like, we're going to play Seasons. You want to play? And he's like, yeah, I haven't played in a while. I'm down to play. And so we grabbed it, we went, and we played. And then we started at like midnight and played Seasons. And then Matthew loved it. Justin seemed to like it a lot. And it was just, again, just to kind of relax, just lazy, playing a game like late at night. And I love that about conventions.
That was tough to beat, and like we spent a lot of good time with Matthew Jude. And that really is like some of the best moments, you hear about conventions is like late night, like during MeepleCon, one of our best experiences was playing High Society late at night, and you're just exhausted and having fun and just silly. That was hard to beat, man. And also just like being able to show someone a game, who like they had tried it, they didn't love it, they were open-minded about it, and we, not that we can take all the blame, but like we were able to explain the game in a way that made sense, and just the nature of the energy of the table, like turn him around to the point where he's just like, dude, like I saw like they had seasons
to buy
and the
it,
expansions, like this guy was selling it and already sold and this and that. And he was like looking for the game all of a sudden. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Not only to convince someone to try a game, to convince someone to try a game again after they're like, nope.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's hard to beat, man. That was really cool. We got to go to the Kennedy Space Center.
Oh, that's right. We didn't
which
talk about
doesn't
that,
have to do with the convention, but like that was cool.
With Dave Luza,
man.
Rebecca Thompson, it was great.
Yeah, I got to see the Atlantis, I believe, space shuttle and a Saturn rocket. That's just massive, freaking.
Yeah.
To the scale of everything, that place freaked me out, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
So humongous. That was super fun.
Yeah.
It was just a great trip and all, you guys. I would highly recommend, if you have the ability to get to any convention, go. If it's local and small, go for sure. Those can be so fun.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming. And Dice Tower Con, I really think if you're wanting to get into some of the bigger conventions, do that
That's
one.
the start.
Do that one first. We're going to Gen Con in a few weeks. Super excited. And I know 100% it's going to be a different experience.
Yeah, exact
different
opposite.
vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we've been to Dice Tower Con now, because that's con goals right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I hope that they continue to do more stuff, because I'm sure their cruise is great based on how they run the convention. It was just so fun, and getting to meet new friends make friends with people that we already kind of knew but didn't know. I mean, that was a special week, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was amazing. And then get to hang out with the
crew.
TGIB crew.
The squad, man.
Dan Hughes, David Lewis, and Matt Jew.
Yes.
Squad.
It was awesome,
Running
dude.
deep.
Squad goals right there. Podcast goals.
Yeah. So that was Dice Tower Con. That's our review of it. It was great. It was amazing.
It was
awesome. It was the best con I've ever been to by far.
Yeah. It just got me excited to go to more conventions in the future and just experience how other people get down with board games and stuff, and seeing what they're into and all that jazz. So we'll get out of your hair now. Thanks for sticking in and checking it out. If you were at Dice Tower Con, whether or not you played games with us, leave in your comments below things that you really enjoyed from the convention or from your own local cons.
Yeah.
What do you like and why? We just like to learn and hear about more people's conventions and how they get down, man.
Yeah.
We're just happy people are out there playing board games. It's nice.
So happy.
Yeah. That's going to be it for us, everyone. We will see you in the next video. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out the Brothers Murph. We are sponsored by Restoration Games, and there's great information for where you can find them in the description below. Now, what I want you to do is click something else here, and I'm going to make this noise until you click away.